If you haven't already had your eyes opened, you're about to have them opened in a big, big way. We're here with Crafts 2. That means only one person by my side. It's John Lockwood. Of course, John, welcome back.
Hello.
Good to see you as always.
And good to see you.
We've got 2 hours.
We have,
and
yes.
we need it as well.
We do.
Because you've started a revolution.
Well, we kind of have with this.
Yes, so you have a little
It took
bit.
us by surprise, and, you know, I will apologise to people at home who missed out first time and people who were waiting for other bits to come in.
Well,
nobody expected it to be like this, and, yeah.
Yeah, well, you've got your chance to. You've got several opportunities here. If, like me, you are getting to know the Kaleido for the first time, by the end of this 2 hours, you will absolutely have one checked out in your basket, hopefully, fingers crossed, if you make it on time. On the other side of the coin, if you were lucky enough to be, and it was a wow weekend, was it? Or
it was supposed to be a weekend wow, yes.
Oh, that's right, yes, and it didn't make it that far.
No, it didn't.
No.
It finished on the Friday.
Right, yes.
Sorry.
So it was a short weekend as opposed to a long weekend when this launched back in March, and sold out extremely quickly. Because the Kaleido, oh my gosh, I can't believe, where have I been living under a rock for the last 3 months or so? Because I hadn't seen this until about 2 hours ago, in fairness. This is a new die cutting machine for you, potentially. You might own this already, and forgive me, I'm chewing carrots that you've already chewed already. You know how good this is already. But this is a die cutting machine, an A5 die cutting machine, which is brilliant, absolutely fantastic. But a lot of people have seen a lot of different die-cutting machines over the years. But how about a die-cutting machine that also does your foiling? Now, that would be really, really good, wouldn't it? Because usually you might well be used to die-cutting machine over there, foil machine over there. Overall investment didn't ever get that far. But also there's the limitations to foiling as well, isn't there? This has no limits whatsoever, because in a nutshell, John, what a traditional sitting down, switch me on, get a special die for me, then you end up with a foil situation, this takes me how much further than that? This
takes you miles further, further than my little short arms can go. Because what we've got with the Kaleido is you have got a technique, foiling and die cutting machine all in one. And this will allow you to foil any stamp, embossing folder, any stamp. Any stamp from any company you have ever bought.
Not a foiling stamp?
Not a foiling stamp,
right,
not have to buy a new stamp.
OK.
We're not on next week with, you know, £200 worth of new foiling stamps.
Right.
No.
OK.
Any stamp you've bought, rubber, clear, foam, even the, I nearly said the word I shouldn't say then. No, even the not great quality cheap ones that you get.
Yeah.
The value ones. The value ones.
Yes.
That's it, the value ones. Yeah, you'll be able to foil with them.
OK.
Yeah, you'll also be able to foil your handwriting.
Yes.
Using the pen. You'll also be able to do any ink technique you can ever do and foil it.
Could I foil my handprint?
Yes.
Could I foil my handwriting?
Yes.
This is what we're talking about.
Would you like to foil an embossing folder?
I wouldn't even begin to imagine how you would start to think about doing that.
So I will show you how you can foil an embossing folder.
Right.
Yeah. So anything that you can use ink for, with the Kaleido, you can foil.
But also it's just one machine.
It's one machine. This is it.
Right.
That in front of you, that is the machine. So that is my A5 die cutting machine, which will take any die made by any company up to 5.5 inches wide.
OK.
And you've got all the plates you need in there with no extra plates to buy.
What?
To do die cutting, embossing, yeah. We've added the extra 3mm plate in.
Right.
But you'll also get in there, the starter bundle, you will get a roll of the gold foil and the pen to get you started on the foiling as well.
That's a foiling pen, everyone. Pen.
Yeah.
Foiling pen, which to a lot of people, and to anyone who hasn't seen this before, and for me an hour ago, I was like, foiling pen. Hang on a minute, I see no plug, I see no USB to plug it in or whatever. How does that work? Can I just tell you right now, oh my gosh. Oh, I nearly said a stronger word then. If you've always loved the idea of foiling, but the investment, you kind of think, actually, for what I'm investing there and the extra bits and bobs, and do you know what? I won't bother, because that's going to run me into another several hundreds pounds worth of, as John says, special dies for foiling, special stamps for foiling, special this for foiling, special that for foiling. How about if your die cutting machine also did all of your foiling at the same time? That's what the Kaleido is. It opens up your world completely. And actually, do you know what? The only switch in terms of power in there is on and off. There's no dials, there's no settings, there's no menus, there's no...
No dials, no setting, no menu, no pre-warming, no nothing. You switch it on. It has a thermostat inside to control it to the temperature that we need to match with the inks and mediums we've got. Basically, that will beep after 7 minutes or so to say it's up to temperature, and that's it.
So that's it.
And when you're finished, you switch it off. Oh, and if you forget to switch it off, so you can tell I was involved in the development of this, because anyone at home knows me, knows what I'm like. If you forget to switch it off, after about an hour, it switches itself off.
Which is very, very helpful, because you know what? Sometimes you just wander off to do something and you think, oh, gosh, I left that on. What will happen? Well, it'll switch itself off. It's as simple as that. Right, now listen, I realise that this show is all going to be about technique, it's all going to be about what this can do. But if you haven't got one of these, if you didn't get one when it launched in March, if you've never seen it before and you think, blimey, you've got to wait until you see what it can do as well, then this is your starter kit. So as John says, it's the Kaleido machine itself, which is your die cutting machine and your foiling machine all in one. It is all the plates you will need, including a base plate which is magnetic, so that your dies go straight to the plate, no extra stuff. I'll just stop there. You've got your foiling pen, you've got a roll of foil in there as well, and all of that coming in for you at under £100. And that's it. That's your foiling. Now, you can split the cost of that 3 ways. You're going to have to be super, super quick, by the way, because we're already 15% of our stock sold out and gone. Now, obviously, because this launched in March, and because your appetite for this was much bigger than what was available back then, it was like, oh, gosh, maybe we should get some more next time around. It's a big stock. It is a big stock. It had to be a big stock, but it's not as big as you would imagine it to be. So get in right now, get it sorted, and then watch the techniques. What I would say is reserve right now. Don't look back again like you did in March and think, oh, yeah, I should have got that when I could. Do it right now. 807 642 is your item number. But hang on, because there is also a mega bundle. Because actually, you know, that's your first steps, is the start at... What? Oh, right, OK. OK, right. OK, can I just tell it right? OK, so the mega bundle, which you definitely want, because that's step 1 to 501, and the mega bundle is steps to 50,001, if you like. So the mega bundle, the machine, everything I've shown you so far, I need to rattle through this, plus 8 more foils.
10 more foils.
10 more foils, yes. One extra gold and silver, plus the 8 colours there as well. Let me show you the 8 colours on a board very, very quickly, and I'm going to have to be really, really quick with this. But there are the colours of foils that you have. You said there was roughly about 3 metres on each roll as well.
I think it's about 2.5, 3 metres. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Do you know what? And you'll be coming back for many, many more of those as well. Also comes with the medium set as well. So the liquid ink allows you to foil your own handwriting, your own stamps. You get a blank stamp pad as well. John will explain why you need that in a wee while. You also have the magic medium as well, which we'll discover what that's all about very, very soon as well. All of that in one mega bundle, but 80% of the stock already sold out and gone. Now limited stock at under £150, so £149.87. You can spread the cost of that 3 ways as well. Oh gosh, actually, do you know what? I've got to tell you something later. 918069 is your item number for that mega bundle. You have to be really, really quickly. OK, you're down to single figures now on this mega bundle. The
this will not be back until late June or July.
That's a long time
That's
away,
when our next delivery is due of everything. OK, right. So get this. And this is ready to go right now. Technically sold out and gone. If you have this in your basket, please make sure that you check it out as quickly as you can. Right, let's talk. If you've got the Kaleido already, and if you're thinking, right, I need to see this in action, John and I have got 2 hours together to do all of that. But I need to tell you, if you've got yours already, then this is your chance to stock up on the medium bundle, which is the 2 foils there, so 1 in gold and 1 in silver, bright gold and bright silver. You have got the liquid ink, and you also have the magic medium. Now, the magic medium, John,
Talk to me about that.
Right, the magic medium. So we know the ink, I was showing you the ink, and we can use the stamp, yeah?
Yeah.
The magic medium will do this. So if you can see this one, actually, if I show it on overhead, it might be easier for Chris. Oh, see, this is our great directors getting that one. Can you see there?
Here they come.
You've got a gold, okay, you've got a gold and a green tree.
Right.
Yeah? Okay. The gold is using the negative from the stamping, and the green. The magic medium is what you need to give you multiple stamping detailed like that.
Uh-huh.
So basically, anything you attach the magic medium to through a stencil, yeah? I should have a piece here to show you, and I bet I haven't. No,
It might
because
be
I'm
the
all
pile you gave me.
prepped. It might be, actually. You can actually put the magic medium through any stencil made by any company.
Okay.
Put the foil on, run it through, and it's foiled. So you've now got foiled stencils. But you can also add this to... In fact, I'll tell you what, I've probably got a piece here. Here we go. So this is a stencil.
Okay.
With
Yep.
magic medium.
Awesome.
Okay, and it is literally, I've put it on, I'll show you this one. I've put it on there so you can't see it.
Yeah.
That was the stencil I used. I think it's a Nellie Snellen.
Uh-huh.
So it's not a special stencil.
Beautiful.
Go through, foil on, run it through, it's done. Even more complex things like these.
That's so awesome, isn't it?
So, but what it will also do is, you put it on card flat, and you can stick foil straight to it. So you can now use all the waste from your stamping and get a negative of the positive.
Brilliant. So, listen, if you want that medium bundle, again, that's going to fly out of the door very, very quickly. £28.99. It's already proving really, really popular. Now, the one thing with foiling that people have been told many, many times, oh, you can foil onto acetate, no problem whatsoever. If you've had experience of that, you've seen the finished results. And I've seen this with my own two eyes as well. I've seen experience of foiling where the foiling is great, looks absolutely fantastic, but it ends up sunk in a well. Or there's actually a ripple right the way around the outside of the image, and you think, actually, no, I wanted that to stay completely and utterly flat. John has found, which is, in your opinion, the only
Yes.
acetate that will take the heat and not buckle under the weight of that as well. And it took a lot of finding this one,
It took
John,
a lot
didn't
of finding. It was over 3 months to find this.
Gosh.
I tried using OHP film.
Right.
I tried using laser printer film.
Yeah.
That takes the heat. I tried the traditional heat-resistant acetate that we all use in our crafting.
Yeah.
And what I found was, because it's consistent heat going across it,
Yeah.
what actually happens is it buckles.
Yeah.
And it wobbles. Whereas this, which we've had developed for us in the Netherlands, will take, you can stamp onto this and foil it, run it through. You've got a card to your right, white card.
Yeah.
That was made yesterday, and that is stamped and foiled onto the acetate.
Oh, awesome.
And look how flat that is.
Wow.
I've actually framed it to
Yeah.
show you
Yeah.
that it's actually done on acetate, and I've got one here.
That's awesome. And there's no distortion there whatsoever, John,
Well,
is there?
I did this one yesterday.
Yeah.
So can you see here? Right, that is a peacock stamp on acetate, coloured from behind with alcohol pens. But look, totally flat because it's not heat embossed.
Yeah.
But look, it is acetate.
That's awesome. And again,
but how flat is that?
And again, it's not so thick that it's cloudy.
Nope.
Do you know what I mean? Because you'd think, OK, well, to stand up to more heat, it's got to be thicker.
It isn't.
Not at all,
The
is
thinner,
it?
the better it worked out
Yeah.
when we were testing it.
How
but
bizarre.
that, as I say, there is not a ripple in that anywhere. If I
Yeah.
show you the edges,
Yeah, look,
there's nothing.
no
and that's
wrinkling.
gone through intense heat.
There's not even like a little ridge in the middle where, you know, the hottest part, you would think, because it's taken the longest to get through. Not even that little bump or little ripple there. So 20 sheets of that. I take it that's A4, isn't it? Is that A4?
Yes.
659886 is your item number. It is brand new today. So do we not have that the first time around?
No, this is brand new today.
Okay.
And the thing on this is as well, is this is not just for the Kaleido.
Right.
This is now the only acetate I use, because this will do everything else as well.
Oh.
So this will do your construction, this
Right.
will die cut.
Yeah.
This will take, you've actually got a card foiled and die cut there.
Yeah.
Of the butterflies have been foiled and die cut.
Oh, cool, yeah.
This will take heat embossing.
Oh, look.
This will take all your techniques, this will be coloured. So this replaces all the acetate you've used, but it also works in the Kaleido. So to me, this is the only one I need.
Do you know what? I had no idea that they were acetate and foiled. How cool is that? And the effect that you get from that combination of the two, so you get the shine from the acetate and the shine from the foiling together, they are completely match made in heaven. How much, Ross? 40% of that acetate stock. Now, that would have been a huge stock as well, because that would be enough to cater for the people who got their Kaleido on the launch, and plus those people who are joining the party today to get theirs at £9.99. Please be as quick as you possibly can, because the best thing to do is to buy first and then watch at your leisure the demonstrations. John is with me for a whole 2 hours, remember. Any questions that you've got, if you've got your Kaleido, show us what you've done with it. Send in your pictures, ask in your questions as well. studio@thecraftstore.com is our email address. So studio@thecraftstore.com. If you've got any pictures to show us, then please do. Right, OK, let's go right to the beginning, shall we? The actual starter here, the Kaleido itself, a quarter of the stock of that starter kit has gone. The complete kit is completely and utterly sold out and gone. Oh gosh, blimey.
And I think it is end of June at the earliest,
right,
if not July before it's back, because we've given you as much stock as we almost conceivably can. So the next stock is, there's no more sitting in the warehouse waiting for us to suddenly drop on a show next week. It is on a, you know, it's either on a boat or it's halfway across the sea. There aren't any in.
And you only introduced me to this 2 hours ago, and of course I want one, because you know, I am in that situation right now where, and you might be in that situation right now, you know, big and cumbersome die cutting machine. If you want to go down foiling alley, then that's another machine, and the bits and bobs that go with that, and all of the, you know, billy doos and everything else. Whereas this kind of does it in one. And actually, do you know what? It doesn't weigh an absolute ton either, does it?
No. It doesn't.
It's not onerous.
The really surprising thing was with this. Actually, I mean, I'm not the strongest person.
Yeah.
So it is not ridiculously heavy. In fact, what makes it heavy is I had to buy a special box, which I know we don't sort of show under here. I had to buy one of those 12-inch vinyl record flight cases to carry it in. That's actually heavier. So I'll just take that off and you can see. That's actually heavier, the box I keep it in, than the machine itself. And I can fit everything else in there. But literally, I mean, I move it around, and I rarely do that with machines. I actually, of my A4 machine, I have two. One for TV and one for home.
Of course.
This, I have one.
Because
it's so lightweight. It's brilliant.
It is all you need. Right, now listen, we've got the 2 hours together, so I say use this. We'll use this as a surgery as well if you've got your Kaleido already. If you've got any questions about, OK, but will it do this, and what's the situation with this, get those questions in right now, and John can answer those as we go along the way. But it's all about showing us all the myriad, and 2 hours isn't enough, really, but let's...
No, not for all the pieces I've got prepped along here.
Let's have a crack at it, though, shall we?
Right, so let's start with the basics that I was telling you earlier.
OK.
And what I want to do in this, I'm going to go through everything step by step and show you the things.
Brilliant.
But the first thing I want to explain is the analogy I explained to Derek earlier. Which was, think of this. I have an analogy for everything. Think of this as a sandwich toaster. If you go out and you buy yourself a toasty machine, which was really popular when I was a kid. The quality of the toaster you get out depends on the quality of the sandwich you put in. If you put a sandwich in there that's wrong, it won't come out right. If it's got too much filling, it'll all squeeze out and it won't do it. If you haven't buttered the outside, it won't be glossy. There's all those things. This is exactly the same. So if you just, instead of getting excited as I did at first, I went, bump, stamp, bump, oh, it doesn't work. Just think it through. As long as you get the basics right, it will work. And it genuinely will.
And you'll come back to this show as well as a reminder.
Yes, and we will ask for this. There are also, I think there's 17 videos on my YouTube channel showing you everything, even through to what to do when you wrap card or foil around the roller.
OK,
Because I've done it. My friend Janet's done it.
Brilliant.
Because you get a little bit of, you get a bit of the magic medium glue stuck on there. you know, when you don't cover it properly and it will wrap itself, even down to how to clean that off.
Brilliant.
So everything is on there as videos.
Another thing to know, just briefly, and this is something that John told me earlier, but it is useful for you to know as well, is that the plates you get with this cover all.
Yes.
It's not like it's like, hang on a second, if you want to do this, there's another plate, and here's the item number for that. And if you want to do this, here's a plate for that. You don't. The sandwich combination that you have there covers all.
It does. What you've got is, so you're going to receive a magnetic base plate inside. So instead of getting a cheap base plate in the machine and us selling you the magnetic one more expensively, no. The magnetic base plate is in there and replacements are now available. Yeah. We've got a 5mm clear plate.
Yeah.
A 3mm clear plate and a second 3mm clear plate.
OK.
And you need a 3mm and a 5mm and a base for die cutting and for foiling.
Yeah.
And all of your paper techniques in this. Because obviously we can do a lot more than just foil.
Of course, yeah.
But if you've got an embossing folder, if it's a 3D embossing folder, you use the base plate and a 5mm plate.
Yeah.
If you want to use a thinner embossing folder, you need to use the base plate and 2 3mm plates. And normally that's what you charged extra for, because you don't need it.
Yeah, yeah.
If you want to cut a big die, a Sizzix big die, you need 2 3mm plates. So that's why we've included 2 3mm plates. You don't need it in your sandwich, but we've put it in because you will need it in your job. So you won't have to buy anything else.
It's awesome. Now, I need to stop you there just very briefly, John. I'm going to show you some details for plates, which might seem a little bit counterintuitive right now, but we just need to do some technical stuff over there with John and where he is and everything, so you can see it beautifully. So, you do get all of your plates, as John just explained. You don't need extra plates. You don't need what you see in front of you if you're buying any of the big bundles today. But if you have already your Kaleido machine and you want more plates, because, of course, they are considered more of a consumable. I mean, listen, you know, a lot of us will send our plates to there and back, and we'll keep going and going and going. But eventually you think to yourself, yeah, actually, I will. I'll treat myself to some new plates. Then they are available on the website for you as well. Right, OK, we've got you shifted into position now, haven't we?
Yes, we have. I've been moved,
You've been told.
Which is good. I've been told to move. I've been Webstered, basically. And we all know what that means. So I'm just going to take a pair of scissors. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the very first thing you're going to try when you get your machine.
Yeah.
The very first thing I tried actually was die cutting. And just to mention on the plate, on the plates, these plates are the plates that I received with my prototype machine a year ago.
Wow, and they still
now
going
I
strong.
have got a new set of plates here, because obviously I had a prototype and then I had to get a production model.
Yeah.
So these are my production model plates. I've not used these because I haven't had to. So every bit of die cutting I've been doing on A5 and all the foiling have all been done with these plates. And I think that's important to know. And look, they're not warped.
No.
Because that's how we've done it. They're still flat. Yes, they are. And it's amazing, isn't it?
Wish my plates looked anywhere like
I know,
that.
yeah, I
more
know.
like boomerangs. But anyway, that's not for
so
here.
You're going to get the pen. OK, so the first thing you want to try is the pen. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to write quite clearly, hello. OK, I'll try and copy the one I did earlier to show Derek.
See, this is genius.
OK,
this is
so there I've written
genius.
hello. I'm then going to take some foil, and what I'm going to do is, this is the foil that comes in the kit. It's exactly the same. It's just one roll of it because we wanted you to have it. And I've got to try this because a great friend on our Facebook group said that the mini trimmer is perfect for cutting your foil. And I'm always cutting it in a right mess. So I'm trying it, June. This is June Halford Wells, I think it is. Oh, June, you're a star.
Perfect.
Because I get a ragged edge. And look, it's like a delivery. Oh, June, you're brilliant. Thank you.
Love it. Brilliant.
So I'm just going to take this.
Listen, any other tips of John? I know John is teaching us, but if you've got any tips for John along the way, get them in.
Please let me know. Right, OK, so this is how they do it. This is how the instructions go. OK? So you take your base plate. You put your 3mm and your 5mm down. You take your base plate. You put your card on top. You put your foil on top of that. And then you will have this little metal stripe, it's called. It's very, very thin. OK?
Yeah.
What you do is you put that on and the magnet holds it in place. And the magnets run down the centre,
Right.
so that they're always holding in the centre. They're not. If they were spaced around,
Yeah, they
it
drag
would
things.
drag things.
Yeah.
It's all in the centre, and all you do, yeah. So I'll bring my machine in. Is literally take that, like that, and run it through.
You're watching foiling, by the way.
Okay.
Just to remind you.
So, peel it off. Hello.
That is awesome. To be able to do that.
Yeah, but I want to show you, can you see on there? Actually, you can't, because it never does it when I want it to. Actually, a little bit of the heart hasn't quite picked it up. Okay?
Okay, yes, right.
If you can see, yeah, there you go. A little bit of the heart hasn't. Right, I'm going to show you now. So this is, I've left this to dry for 5 minutes.
Right.
So this is what I said about making the sandwich right. So I've left this for a few minutes with the handwriting. Okay, same again, using the stripe. Make sure I've got the plate combination right. No, I've added an extra one. It's the only thing you'll find.
Yeah.
I did have a lady message me to say her mum had managed to jam the plates in.
Right.
And I think, I don't know, and I'm sorry if she didn't do this, and I think she'd actually put an extra plate in, because
Yeah.
I've tried it so many times. And the answer to getting it out was brute force and ignorance.
Yeah.
Bang from the other side, there's nothing else you can do.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But can you see now, that's picked up every area,
Okay.
because I've let it settle. So if I show you there as well, you can see on above, but you can see there, I'll get it in the right place.
Perfect.
Every bit. Yeah. So that's your first thing.
The ability to be able to do that, I just think, is one you would never expect to have, isn't it?
Well, you have to buy a 50, I think they were £80 last time I looked, a USB plug-in foil pen. And they're really thick, and you have to hold it, and you have to go like that with your foil on top. You can't see what you're writing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because I've tested them.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So that's to start with. This replaces £80 of that.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but then, so that's your simple thing.
Yeah, but
It's
you say
not.
that, but that's changed our world, hasn't it? Straight away.
Imagine taking, basically, signing your Christmas card.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Well, do you know how funny? Last year, when I'd first bought some like sparkly, glittery pens,
Yeah.
I was writing names and addresses on the outside of the envelopes. I could have been foiling
You
it.
could have been foiling them.
And how?
Yeah.
Hello, would that look?
And I'm not being funny, and the pens aren't expensive.
No.
You know what I mean? You're not talking, I think there's a bundle with 2 blank ink pads and a pen, it's like less than £10.
Yes.
You know, they're not pricey to replace either. Because to me, it was really important, to us and Crafts too, it was really important that we made sure that the consumables were the best price we could get. It is one of the reasons why people I know are waiting for different coloured foils to come in. But
How funny that how long have you been in the crafting industry? A long, long time, let's just say. So you've
6,
seen
7
it all.
years now.
Right, so,
No, well, I've seen a lot.
so you've seen an awful lot.
Yeah.
And for something like this to feel so brand new, but also such a, how's this never occurred to anyone before?
Yeah. How's it never worked out?
You don't need extra plates for this, that, and the other. You don't need extra machines for that. It's actually doing a 2-in-1, and to say 2-in-1 is such a misnomer because it's more like 250 in one. Do you know what I mean? And so affordably as well. It's under £100 for heaven's sake to get yourself started with this, and that's a die-cutting machine and a foiling machine. For those people just getting into crafting full stop, foiling is usually, you know, that's months down the line. It's possibly years down the line before you consider foiling, because you think, I'm not sure if my crafting's ever going to be that good. But if every stamp you can foil and every die that you've got, from the ones that you paid absolutely pence for, the ones that you paid 20, 30, 40 pounds for, to be able to foil all of those, plus your own handwriting, plus your own artwork. You draw a picture and then foil it yourself. How professional does that look?
Yep. Right, so our next step is we want to stamp. We want to see how, you know, John's talking all this time about, and there are so many samples around here, literally, of different companies stamped. And then, or shall I show you how we get it wrong, and then I'll show you how we get it right?
Yes, because that can be just as important sometimes.
Okay, so the very first thing is, I want to explain the ink. So the ink is a chemical ink.
Okay.
It isn't a solvent, and it isn't a water-based. It's a chemical ink. And this is the ink as it comes. And if you notice as well, you get 60 mils.
Okay.
You don't get one of those little re-inker bottles you normally get.
Yeah.
You're getting loads.
Yeah.
I nearly said them again.
Because you'll
I'm so excited about this, but you get so much ink in there.
Because you'll want to go to town.
Yeah, you will. And a blank pad. So that's your blank pad. So all you do to start with is take your ink. You must keep it upright. It's liquid. It's not viscous. So when it tips over, you can see the lid of mine.
Yeah.
Basically is black, and you can see my nail where I didn't take it off properly yesterday. Yeah. So keep it upright. I didn't. But all you do, turn your ink over and ink your pad and let it soak in.
Okay.
And let it soak in for a good 20 minutes, half an hour first. Yeah. If you want to, you can use like an ink blending tool just to squish it down. Yeah. But let your ink soak in. Okay. Okay. So that's what we do to start with, and we would leave that. Okay. It's a bit like in a recipe where it says, get the butter at room temperature. Yeah. We always forget to take it out of the fridge, and then we think, let's stick it in the microwave and it half melt. No. Let's do that. So it's going to be like the proving draw on the bake-off. Yes, it is. Leave it. So if you leave your ink pad, right. This is why it doesn't come in an ink pad. Okay. This is dry, but it's black. Yeah. The reason is I left this for 6 weeks. Right. With no ink. Okay. So this has dried out. So to reactivate this, if it happens, you again just apply ink, but you'll notice the ink will sit more on the surface, depending on how long you've had it. And again, you will leave that for about 5 minutes. Yeah. If that. Okay. And we'll use that one in a minute. So a bit of preparation while you go off and do some handwriting foiling. And this is the one I use all the time. Can you see the condensation? Yeah. That's why the ink isn't in the pad already. This is an airtight ink pad that we have made. So this is completely airtight. It's got a seal. But the ink is a chemical, and the water content of it leaches out. Okay. Which is why you have a big bottle and you do that. So if you see it like that, don't worry. That's how it should be, because that is my wet ink. Okay, right, yeah. And I could actually put that down onto my paper and card. Yeah. And I could actually foil my fingerprint. That's fine. It might be incriminating. So this one is my one I'm using all the time. Yeah. So I've used this virtually every day. So all I need to do is I'm running my ink across it, and by capillary action, the ink pad is filling itself. And you don't overfill it. One of the girls here, Tracy, who's a crafter on the call centre, she actually was helping a lady, and the lady sent her a ink pad to see where she was going wrong, and it was that soaked, it was leaking out. Right, yeah. So, again, it's better to add more. You can always add, you can't take away. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. This is probably a salient point, John, to actually talk to you about the medium bundle, because if you have your Kaleido already, you want to top up your ink and your magic medium. You get a gold and silver foil here as well, and another blank ink pad. If you want to do that, 60% of that bundled stock has sold out and gone. Remember, it's a perfect addition as well. If you're going for the starter kit, it's a perfect addition for that. Just really means that you can kind of keep going for a little bit longer, for a lot longer, let's be fair, because that's a big, big bottle. And actually, if you're just reactivating your ink pad, it's not like you're using the same amount as the very first time you did it anyway, are you? You're topping it up, aren't you? Only just for this show on my second bottle. Right, okay. And that's a year I've been testing and playing and sampling, and all the boards made. And, a lot of foiling, anything foiled, even the stuff on the packaging. Yeah. I made all the cards on the packaging. They were all done with the same bottle. Brilliant. With the same machine. It was all, it's all done exactly the same. So it will last you a long time, but you don't want to run out, if that makes sense. The whole thing here is so affordable. So this is what I love about this, is the whole thing, to get into it. You don't have to think, oh, right, well, that's another 300 to 500 quid investment before you know it. No, you've got the starter kit, the machine itself, for under £100. And you are ready to get started, and you can spread that cost as well. It's not like, oh, right, okay, well, £99 today. No, $33.33 today, and your P&P. That's it, done. You've got it. You can start playing. Yep. Right, so I said I'll do it wrong first.
Okay, go on.
Okay,
Yeah.
so this is Super Smooth Card.
Okay.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have heard of Super Smooth. Super Smooth Card is a pre-print card. And I'm really boring, and I want to explain. I have to understand it myself.
Please do.
And basically, pre-print card is, this is what your packaging is made out of, your boxes.
Okay, yeah.
Comes on massive rolls in the mill, and it's hot pressed between 2 hot rollers to make it smooth so it will take a digital print.
Makes sense.
After a while, the ends of the rolls get chopped down and sold off as Super Smooth Card. Perfect for stamping.
Right, yeah.
Yeah? But because this has been pre-prepped with the hot rollers,
Yeah.
you will find sometimes that foil can stick to it because it's been over-smoothed.
Okay,
And
yes.
it also takes a long time for the ink to settle onto it because it's been designed to have digital printing.
Okay,
To have
right.
laser printing, not ink on it.
Okay.
Yeah? And then, so that's what I'm going to use to start with, to show you. And then secondly, here I've got a clean or a new stamp. Now, I've been a campaigner for years on this. Don't clean your stamps. Only clean your stamps when your view stays on or you're swapping colours.
Okay.
If you scrub your stamps back to fresh, what happens is the ink resists.
Does it?
Yeah.
Okay.
The ink doesn't want to stick to plastic.
That's true, yeah.
Why
But if
would
it's
ink
already
want to
got a-
stick to plastic? If you've
Yeah.
already got VersaFine on there and a nice black coating, because I'll show you, this is my proper one of this stamp. Can you see the difference?
So it's almost your ink equivalent of gessoing in a
That's
way.
the one that will work.
Yeah.
That's the one that won't work the well.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So it's about priming.
You
And
always
again,
think about
you'll
it in
see
terms of
Diane Reevely
cleanliness.
and Tim Holtz.
Yeah.
They don't clean their stamps.
No.
They keep them mucky.
I don't see many round here, actually, in these parts,
No.
cleaning stamps. Now I know why.
Yeah. So I'm going to ink that. I'm going to stamp it straight away, press it down, and pull.
Okay.
Now, sometimes when that stamp is clean and brand new,
Yeah.
it will pull the surface of the paper off because the ink is a chemical and it's dry.
Right, yeah.
The ink will not damage your stamps. Yeah. If you want to clean it off, use cheap antibacterial spray cleaner
Okay.
and put that in one of your stamp cleaning pads and use that. Yeah.
Right.
But I don't clean mine off.
So you wouldn't treat it any differently
Nope.
than any other ink that you use now?
Nope. This one has been stamped and kaleidoed over 100 times.
Brilliant.
This stamp. So I've got that. What you then do, people do, is I'm going to show you my way of foiling now with this.
Yeah.
So I basically found that metal stripe to be an absolute nightmare to try and work with.
Okay.
So what I actually do is I take some of my foil. So I'm going to take a piece of my foil. I'm going to use silver because it shows, A, it shows better on air,
Yeah.
and B, it's my favourite colour. I just think silver looks so classy. You're either silver or gold.
Yeah, absolutely.
What I do is I let some overhang and I fold it under.
Okay.
And I put it on my clear plates, take that to my machine,
Yeah.
okay, and then just run that through.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense, doesn't it?
Yeah. And you wouldn't use a piece as big as this. But when I peel it off, can you see there? Yes. Hopefully you can see little black shadows. Yeah?
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Now, why is that?
Why is that, John?
Well, the simple fact is I've used a super smooth card, so the ink hasn't settled.
Right.
Yeah? Luckily, I've not got any little flecks on there.
Yeah.
But that tends to be what happens when I get that. Yeah. And I've not let the ink settle. So I've used a smooth, difficult card, and I've not let the ink settle. Okay? So the answer is, first of all, what you do is you stamp it out and you leave it for about an hour.
Okay.
Sounds great. You don't have to. You leave it 10 minutes if you want to. But what I do is I have a stamping session, and then I switch my machine on. Because it's there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's literally, if anyone watches any of my videos at home now, you'll see my machine, it's there.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
So the same thing again, I just fold that over.
So it's not reliant on the freshness of the application of the ink in this circumstance.
No,
That's not what's making
the
it...
ink is not sticky.
Right.
If it isn't working for you, sometimes it's because you've got the ink too wet. The ink needs to be dry for the
Right.
chemicals to work.
To work and apply the foil.
When I put this one through, I know I will get an absolutely perfect foil.
Can I just
You
can I
can.
just note an observation as well?
Yeah.
From what I've and I have limited experience of foiling, but I have seen it elsewhere, and I found it a very onerous, a bit of a complicated thing. It's like
It's scary.
this kind of die, it's this level of heat of this amount of time, da 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 da. You're winding that through like you were just die cutting a die.
It's just whatever. Yeah.
There's no speed. There's
no speed.
Don't go slow for this and fast for that, or just your usual speed you would die cut.
Don't overcomplicate it. Yeah. Basically, stamp it like you would stamp a stamp.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let it settle for a few minutes.
Yeah.
And then foil it. The other way around this is to use a slightly more porous card.
Okay.
Yep. So I would recommend for your plain clear stamping, I would recommend something like a mixed media card.
Right.
That has, if I pass you a piece,
Yeah.
can you feel that against the super smooth?
Right. Yeah. So that's got teeth.
It's got teeth.
Yes.
Yes.
That's the phrase, isn't it? Got a question coming in from Christine asking about: is there a specific weight of card needed to use the foiling?
Nope.
That's dictated from the machine, I guess, really,
Yeah.
isn't it? So, oh no, actually, I know the answer to that actually because John gave me a little pile of just examples of things that can be foiled, and I've got varying examples here, but here's a napkin. Here is a piece of
Fabric. Calico.
fabric. And did you have a rice paper somewhere? Have you got
There
it,
is, it's
John?
on the board, I think, rice paper, but I
okay.
will show rice paper as
Right.
well. I brought some with me.
Let me show you. Right, OK, so right the way down to top corner up here, this is on a rice paper. So any weight of card, basically anything you can get through, I suppose, John, is it?
Anything you can stamp on, anything you can get through.
Wow.
And the trick is, and you'll see it when I do vellum
Yeah.
and when I do acetate, because they're thinner, I use a paper shim.
OK.
So all you want to do is...
We've all got one of those.
We have. Basically, what I tend to do is, the card I'm using now, I think this is Dolly Dimple's mixed media card.
Right.
Yeah, which I think a craft store has.
Yeah.
I found this is perfect for it. And basically, as you say, it's got a tooth.
Yeah.
But I have a piece of this, which is the piece like I sort of gave you earlier.
Yeah.
That's what I will use as my shim.
OK.
So if I need to, it's OK, I've got another bit there.
Oh, OK.
But if I need to, I will use that. So if I'm using a thinner piece, so say you want to do it on 80 GSM copier paper.
Right.
Yeah. Pop a piece of sort of 250 GSM card either underneath what you're foiling or between your plates.
Just to bulk it.
Just to bulk it.
Yeah.
All you've got to do is make sure that you got a nice pressure, like you would do if you were cutting a die. You know, if you try and cut 80 GSM photocopy paper with a die, it won't cut.
Yeah.
You have to actually bulk it out.
Yes.
To make it cut. It's the same with acetate.
Do you know what's just occurred to me? Sorry to interrupt, John.
No, this is perfect because this is what we're here for.
You're making your own. You're making your own invitations. So you use the stamps that you've got, definitely to make up the visuals of your, and then you handwrite the rest if you want to, or use font stamps for the rest and whatever. And you've got an easy way of just keep getting them. You've got a production line going
you have.
on.
Well, to actually foil an invitation printed professionally, the cheapest we could find online was £3
Yeah, of course.
per invitation.
And if you were the person providing that service, you would understand why you
Yes, you
charge
would
that
understand
amount
that price,
as well.
and that's a genuine price, but
Yeah,
you can do
absolutely,
it
yeah.
yourself. So we want to do a simple stamp. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
using Peter's Tree, which is it's one of my absolute favourite stamps.
It's lovely.
It's already prepped and primed. It's been stamped hundreds of times before. And just to make sure the ink sticks properly, Sam came up with this one. Just rub your ink over to start with.
Okay.
Yeah? I never tell you to do that. I tell you not to do that.
Right.
Normally, but just that, to get it coated, and then cha-cha-cha like we normally do. Yeah?
Yeah.
Ta-ta. It's how I always remember how
Okay.
to get the stamping right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Put it over, press, and I'm using a stamp press, and again, make sure when you're stamping this, certainly if it's a clear unmounted stamp,
Yeah.
you're stamping into some foam. If your press is flat and has the flat base, stick a bit of foam in it.
Yeah.
Because you never get that clear image. You see there, look, lovely crisp on one edge and a little bit lighter on the other edge.
Yeah.
Well, that's fine, because just like any other stamped image, I don't have to start again. We'll just go in there. Yeah. But because I'm using now a card with a little bit more tooth, I can be a little bit more confident about actually... Sorry, June, but this was a brilliant idea.
Oh, genius.
I want one of these for every single colour of foil. To be fair, though, I'm really low. I'm using silver because I don't actually have much of any of the colours left myself. I'm no better off than anyone else out there.
I don't think we're in any better position right now, John, to be honest with you. Something else I've observed here as well, just from seeing it over and over again.
But there you go.
How many times when you're talking foiling, are you talking over foiling?
Yeah.
Because obviously you've got a piece of foil that's much bigger than the image that you're using. You know, like sometimes when you're using dies or whatever for foiling and platforms and everything else, you have got that over foiling going on. And of course, as soon as you've over foiled something, you have to start again or cut it away, or it's just a faff that you don't need, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, I'll just show you one quick thing, because you said about the magic medium.
Yes.
Here's a piece of card that I've impregnated with magic medium. Okay. Now, I won't be funny. There's nothing easier than this.
Okay.
Than basically magic medium. Let's squeeze some on. There we go. Okay. Let's get a scraper. This is actually a car vinyl scraper. Oh.
So it's like sort of all-purpose glue sort of consistency, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm not going to waste it, so I'm going to put the excess on there. Okay. I'd leave that. Just get it nice and smooth. I'd leave that obviously for 2-3 minutes. If that to go off. Yeah, because the other thing with foiling before, as you said, this piece is now wasted. Okay? So this piece is waste. Can't do anything with it, can you? Well, I keep every single piece. I've got a basket, I've got a thing somewhere where I keep it all, but...
So is the magic medium, does that remain tacky or something?
Nope.
Then? No?
That's a piece that's been magic mediumed. Let me give you a piece. Feel that.
OK, so you can feel that there's something there.
But you can't, it's not sticky.
No.
No. Right, so I run this through. Simple as. Making sure if you put a piece of card through here...
Yeah.
Where you've not covered it with foil and it's got magic medium on, it will go onto your roller and it will stick to your roller.
OK.
And then you will roll it round your roller.
OK.
And I say that the fact that you will get and you will, because you will have done that.
Yeah.
And there's nothing I can do apart from tell you how to clean it. But watch, peel that off, there's the waste. But that is now, that's dry, that's sealed, that's finished. I could send that, there's nothing there.
That's stunning.
But the magic thing is, I can take a piece of gold, or I'm going to grab a piece of pink because I've got this out, OK? So that's sealed, that's dry.
Yeah.
There's nothing on there. I could send it as a card. It will not stick or anything to an envelope or anything. I can put another piece of foil over, turn the corner again, run that through, and the machine and the magic medium, the magic will be reactivated. And so now I will have a pink tree on a silver background.
Well, do you know, listen, if you ever needed, I mean, and that's just a few of the things it can do, by the way, but I think that is genius. Do you know the one thing I've noticed about this as well? Well, not just the one thing, things keep occurring to me, which is great, but it's faff-free. Foiling, you think, hang on, that's the creme de la creme de la creme. It's almost like you need to take a training course to foil, don't you? Hello? Like, all you need is one of these, and it does the die cutting for you as well. Now, John's obviously not going to show you how to die cut a die. I think we all pretty much worked that one out. Now we've got that to that stage already. But foiling, you think, oh, no, I won't bother with that. Yeah, it looks nice, Derek, but it's another machine and it's it's hundreds of pounds more. No, it isn't. Because this is the one that's doing the job of both. And again, the manual for this, by the way, hang on a second. Oh, the manual for this, you don't need to look close at all. Look, it's that. That's it. Now, that means that you really don't need to know anything else than that red switch on the side. You just flip it on when you're ready to use it and wait for it to beep twice, and then you're ready to do all the things that you're seeing John doing right now. Now, if you've not been paying really, really close attention in the last 49 minutes so far, don't worry about that, because it's so simple, it's so intuitive, it just makes sense. But how many new techniques are you seeing right now, things that you've not been able to do before, things that you would have to pay somebody else to do, or spend several hundreds of pounds just in machinery and special dies and things to get to where John's getting for under £100, which you can split into 3 payments, by the way. It's just bonkers. It sold out so quickly when it was launched in March, and can you see why? Absolutely. The complete bundle that we had sold out today within 10 minutes. You've got the opportunity now, but we're halfway through the stock, and it was a hefty stock, let me tell you, because we knew how many went in March, and we're at the mercy of what we have right now today until possibly the end of June into July. That's an unknown date into the future right now, and you want one of these right now. It makes sense, doesn't it? 807642 is your item number. I'm also going to remind you about the medium bundle as well, because if you have your Kaleido or you're buying the starter kit, perfect addition, especially when you've got your flexi basket open anyway, is the medium bundle. So that's going to give you a whole big bottle of the liquid ink, 60 millilitre, not one of those little diddly, you know, sort of 5, 10, 15 millilitre jobbies.
You normally get.
Absolutely. Plus, you've got the magic medium there as well, and we've just seen the magic in that as well. It's superb. It gets you an extra silver and gold foil, plus your empty ink pad as well, which you'll refill again and again and again. I don't know how many times, let's not put a number on it, but plenty of times from that 60 millilitre bottle of the ink as well. How much stock of that bundle, Ross? 2/3 of the stock of that has gone. I've nearly renamed you there, Ross, to Scott. Can you fancy being Scott for the afternoon? So 2/3 of that bundle sold out and gone. If you bear in mind how many of these have already been sold on the launch and now how many more today, that's very, very important and definitely worth buying if you're getting the starter kit. Right, OK, oh, hang on. Need to talk to you about the acetate as well. This is absolutely brilliant. Brand new today. It's taken John 3 months of searching and finding and testing acetate that you can foil onto where it doesn't buckle under the heat or the pressure. It doesn't wrinkle. You can foil straight onto the acetate. This is the best example for me. These butterflies are die cut and foiled in acetate. I mean, don't they just look like pure sheet silver? You have to be careful how you say that.
Well, I've paid
beautiful.
to butterflies that have been foiled and acetated like that, and quite a pretty penny, to be honest.
They are awesome, and they look like pure silver. They are gorgeous. 659886 is the item number. 70% of this, again, a hefty stock, because this is the first time we've seen this. It wasn't here when the machine launched in March. Get yourself onto the website as well, because there is even more that we haven't even got to so far. There are dyes in there as well. There's bundles of silver foil there. There's a bundle there with 2 of silver, 2 of gold. Oh, no, there isn't, actually. It's sold out. We didn't even get to it. But there you go. You never know. You're lucky in a raffle. You are going to have to be mighty, mighty quick. If you need more plates as well, we don't think you will do at this stage, but they are there if you need them and if you want them. The Crafts 2 art book. And actually, Crafts 2 as a whole, I'm going to say this because John's far too modest to do it, but you want to see everything you need to get the job done right first time. Your stamping folder I hear about again and again and again and again. And I know the one that I've got, if I make the mistake first time, then that's it. Throw it away, start it again, because you're never going to get to the same place again, and I need to do it. Anyway, listen, right, John, we've got a few minutes left in this hour,
right.
Luckily another hour as well.
Excellent. So what I thought I'd do is I'll show you the acetate.
OK.
It answers Christine's question about what about to do different weights.
Yes.
And it shows you how to work it. So here I've got, this is the acetate. I've cut it to size. It's all perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. All I've done, I've not cut it to size, sorry. I've cut it in A5. But this particular stamp, the butterfly one, will fit 4 times on A4.
OK.
It's fine.
Yep.
But I'm just going to put it down. I'm going to, there we go, turn it over. And then same thing again, same technique again. I'll move it in so you can see. Get some ink on to start with, but notice the stamp was black. It's been done, it's been primed. Priming stamps is the most important thing to me. Or basically, keep them mucky. You know, let's face it. You know, I used to say this, say on workshops. You know, you might have married the accountant, but it was the guy in the leathers on the motorbike that was the one that you always think about, wasn't it? You know, it's always, you know, keep them mucky. It keeps them more fun. Yeah. So literally, pressing it down, this stamp and a big stamp like this, literally, you know, needs a platform with the foam, or needs a big block and the foam underneath it. So if you haven't got a platform, you want something like Phil's stamping foam. Yeah. If you have and you haven't got foam in it, go to the pound shop, the 99p plus a penny shop, buy a couple of bits of cheap foam and stick it in there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It won't be exactly the same, but it'll help. But if you notice, it comes off, and that's inked on.
And this couldn't have more detail in it, this stamp,
No.
if you tried, could it really?
It really couldn't.
There you go, look.
Okay.
Such fine detail.
Right, now, that is acetate. If I try and foil this now, this is what you'll get.
Okay, because...
It's not settled or dried.
Right.
It can't settle into the card, so it must dry off.
Yeah.
If the ink is wet, it isn't sticky ink. If the ink is wet, it won't work.
Right.
Yeah. And if you stamp it wrong, that's what you get. So you see I double stamped it? See how much level of detail I get?
Yeah, you got a shadow, yeah.
So what I've got here is, here's a piece I did earlier, and I stamped this last night.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can leave it...
You can leave it... So far, the longest we've left a piece of anything to foil it is 8 weeks.
What?
Yeah. Once it's kaleidoed, so far as we can tell, you can leave it... Basically, in the ink is a chemical that reacts against the chemical in the foil and the heat.
And the heat, the combination of the
combination.
Right,
that
okay.
never dries out or goes off. So, to be honest, the longer you leave it, the better you get, the better results, to be honest.
See,
so,
that's
yeah,
really good
8
to know.
weeks. So have a stamping session.
Yes, because you feel under a bit of pressure, don't you? To
Yeah.
well, I've stamped it. I must get it foiled.
Nope. So the same thing again. Foil over, fold, and this is going onto a piece of paper to keep that volume up.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Don't need 3 plates. That will jam my machine if I could even get it in there. So let's get it right, John. Come on. Honestly, you know when you're on a time constraint, you really do feel it.
Don't worry, we've got another... Oh, actually,
So-
we've only got 20 seconds in this
Right,
now. It's just
okay.
run away. How
So-
about leaving that as a cliffhanger, the reveal, until the start
I think we should.
Yeah, let's leave it as a cliffhanger
Just
to the
to
start
make it
of the
difficult.
next hour. Listen, we're going to answer all of your questions in the next hour as well, so it's going to be a bit of a surgery with John. Back after the...